Number 2 is called the Devil's Tree. Now, the Devil's Tree is located in Bernardsville, New Jersey, specifically in the Martinsville section of Bernardsville. Tommy says he's taking Fiendu there when he comes to Jersey. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know about. I don't know. I don't know if he would go into the mine though. I don't know if he's that. I don't think he'll stay away from the mines. So the Devil's Tree, like I said, is located in Martinsville, New Jersey. Now the Devil's Tree is still there. Now this is a very old tree. This is a 200-year-old tree, if that. And over the years, it has withered and limbs have been chopped off of it. So it doesn't look like much these days, but it's still there. I'm going to show you a picture of it in a moment. But the Devil's Tree, there's a lot of lore and legend that goes around it. And like I said, you could go to this day and see it. And it's basically an old oak tree. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for the donation. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for meeting my simple goal of one thing. So thank you for that. That's awesome. So the Bernardsville Devil's Tree, let me show you what it looks like because I think that's important. So here we go. The Devil's Tree. Here we go. This is what the Devil's Tree looks like now, believe it or not, because over the years, it has been so vandalized and damaged because of the legends around it that the town decided to wrap it up with a fence and a chain around it. So you can't actually touch it. But it's, as you can see, it's a very big trunk. It's a very big old tree. You could even see some graffiti written up here in blue. So it attracts a lot of attention. It's in the middle of a field. There's nothing else behind except weeds. It's in a vacant field. And as I tell you the story, you'll understand why it's in a vacant field and why nothing else is around it, because legend has it that you're not supposed to attack it. You're not supposed to do any damage to it. You're not supposed to go near it because of the consequences that could happen if you do. So, yeah, Don, it's supposed to be 200 years old. I don't know. You have to cut it, right? You'd have to cut it down to count it, to count the rings in it to actually determine how old it is. But it's been around quite a while. So let me see. I think I have another. Do I have another picture of it? Hold on. Let me see if I have another picture of it. Maybe not. But I wanted to show you how it looks in the. Here it is. Okay, let me show you this. Let me see. Okay. And this is part of the lore, too. Part of the lore is that if you touch the tree, your hands will turn black. And that's part of why they wrapped it, so people can't touch the tree. Now, in this picture, you'll see there's the tree in the background. Let me put it on full screen. And there's an example of how someone's hands get when they touch it. So the tree is out on its own, alone. And here's a sign that says park closed. They don't want anyone going near here. It is technically in a park. It's undeveloped land, but it sits out there alone. And it's a target for kids and thrill seekers. So, this is, and they call it the Devil's Tree. Now, why would they call it the Devil's Tree? Well, this is the reason. That blackness that comes from the hand, that gets on your hands, it's said that this is because, the legend says at least, that it's because this is a link, this tree has a link to the depths of hell, and the heat from the depths of hell come up and heat up the tree, and as a result, this soot comes out of it. So it's kind of far-fetched, but that's what they say happened. Yeah, Delilah, I don't know what that is. They say that that's what is on your hands. Now, it does wash off afterwards. It's like ash. Why would it come from this tree? I don't know. The story is that it's the heat from hell. the devil's tree. So anyway, that's what it looks like. That's where it is. Now, some of the other things that happen, some of the other legends and lores around this tree is that the tree itself is cursed, and anyone who disrespects it, meaning damage it or touch it or even talk about it in a negative way, in the vicinity will have negative consequences that will happen to them. The most common thing that happens is that their cars stall or break down as they're leaving the area. So if you were to go there, visit the devil's tree, touch it, try to carve something off of it, carve your name in it, spray paint on it, anything like that, or talk bad of it even, chances are your car will break down or stall as you're trying to leave the area. Some people even claim that accidents have occurred for those who did this. As they left, they got into an accident. So bad things happen to those that play around with this tree. Some say that this tree was used, this is part of the evil around it, that it was used as a lynching post for rebel slaves or escaped slaves that rebelled against their masters. And, some from south, maybe some from the south that escaped and north and were eventually captured. So it's a very evil type of sense that comes around this tree. It's also said that a farmer once hanged himself from this tree after killing his entire family. So more evil lore that goes around this. There's also a urban legend that says that if you spend too much time around this tree, a black Ford pickup will appear on the horizon and will chase you in your car. So as you're leaving, in your rearview mirror, you'll see an old black Ford pickup that will appear on the road and will follow you. And it will only follow you so long, and then it will vanish. Once you pass a certain level, it will disappear. Kind of like a headless horseman type of vibe. It can only go so far, and then it vanishes. So it's basically a spirit vehicle that appears and follows you. Don't know why. Don't know what the specific backstory is to that part of this legend, but that's it. That's what the legend says. This black pickup truck. There's also a specific tale of a young man who climbed the tree itself. So he was young, and he wasn't a kid, but he was young. He was maybe 19, 20 years old. He and his friends went to the devil's tree on a dare. And what he said he would do was he would climb the devil's tree, and that he would go out on one of its limbs and hang on one of its limbs and jump and bounce on it. And that was the dare. And he actually did that. So he went up there, started bouncing on the limb. And by his account, as well as the accounts of his 4 other friends, the limb itself started to move and hurled him off it. So it wasn't just his bouncing. It was the limb of the tree threw him off. And as a result, he fell and broke his ankle on the spot there. So again, negative consequences if you play around with this tree. So keep away from it. Bad news tree. And in fact, people have also said, this goes back to the whole lynching part, is that from time to time, they'll see like a phantom a phantom noose appear on the tree out of nowhere. It'll just appear and then it'll vanish. Usually on moonlit nights, this noose will appear, this phantom noose, and then will appear once daylight comes. So a very evil, creepy tree that to this day still exists. What's left of it anyway, and people kept away from it by the local township, keeping people away from this tree at all costs. So a very interesting legend with a lot of lore around it and consequences if you play around with it. So that would be my guidance. Don't play around with it. So that's your second story, the Devil's Tree in Bernardsville, New Jersey.